Well, this is my 95 Corvette that we recently purchased from Copart, which is pretty neat, even though it's Copart, it's not all the nicest. Anyway, it has the LT1, the Generation 2, and I believe this is the first or second year that they put this new motor in. I think it makes 300 horsepower, which is a lot for the 90s. Because I had a 454 big block and it made 290 horsepower, so this makes more and it's less displacement. Moving to the other side, it's more or less the same. Some scuffs. I don't like the wheels. I might change that, but I don't really know if I want to spend money on that. The headlights need fixed. They're a bit sad. Well, here's the interior. It's dirty right now, obviously. But my dad plans on cleaning it up for me, which would be really nice. Still got the thing they had the key on. You take that off. It is an automatic, which I'm not really opposed to. I like manual and automatic, so I guess I can't really choose because like 3 out of 4 of them are automatic. That's a little dirty. I don't really know what the black scuff is. Clean that up. Oh, what's this? Fuse panel. Oh.
I bet you I can clean it up.
Oh, guaranteed. Here's the other side, the driver's side. It's actually really clean. This car has 88,000 miles. I don't know if that's fully true, but if so, well, I don't know if I can believe it to begin with, because it looks a little dirty. But it has had a couple of owners, possibly 5. So I popped open the back. The back is actually really clean. There's one stain in the carpet that I've seen. Just that one. Otherwise,
Yeah, the good thing about this is you can just, like, this can just come out and, well, actually, I guess you can't come out. I thought this would come out and you could just stick it in the washing machine like I did the floor mats. But
well, anything comes out hard enough force.
that's true. That's true.
Okay, I think this is supposed to be connected. It's not. How do you open this? Oh,
Oh, wow.
wow, wow, it's not very big, but
What would you put in there exactly?
2 Diet Cokes.
Is this open too?
Oh no, that one's closed on this here because it's where the ABS is, I think.
Okay, you know your stuff.
Fixed. All right, let's pop open the hood. This is the LT1, the 5.7, basically the next generation small block. It's dirty. It has some, I don't know what buildup, calcium or something, but it looks dirty. I'm sure I'll clean up with the power washer.
Yeah, you're not really supposed to use a power washer on these, so I'll have to be a little more gentle.
Really?
I did look.
Oh, that's just dusty.
I did look, and the air filter looks brand new. I popped that open, and since we're in here and talking about stuff like that, the oil is literally freshly changed, even though I think it's been freshly changed for a while, but it doesn't have any miles on it.
Go ahead. Have you checked the transmission fluid?
Nah, I haven't. You'd have to put it into.
Well, we can at least see how.
Oh, yeah, and when you put it in drive, it'll go down.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to see if it looks good. Or...
Yeah, and I did drive it from the street up to here, and it went right into gear.
One interesting thing about these cars is how all the radiator is set up, because there's not much airflow in, so they really had to maximize it and put some decent fans on it. These cars often run hot as is. I think they run like 210 in Fahrenheit, so pretty much the boiling point of water. But the AC works. AC works. Alternator works. Battery works now. Currently. Power steering, I didn't test that. Does that work?
Yeah.
Power steering works. Brakes, they
I'm not too
had
sure.
power.
I'm not sure you could turn the steering wheel manually with
Yeah.
these
These
tires.
just, I mean, they need replaced to begin with because they're not that much tread, but they look really old.
Yeah, they're old.
So-
And it also needs an alignment. Look at this over here versus this. So
Well,
it needs an
we got
alignment.
some things to do, but we got a car sooner than I thought. Over here we got the, I'm assuming, coolant overflow. There's also one right here, so I don't really understand why there's two. But that one is cracked and it needs replaced. It looks cheap.
Yeah, I looked it up. It was 30 bucks.
Well, it's getting
It's
replaced.
30 bucks and like 3 bolts, and it's easy.
Yeah. So I'm not too worried about that, but it leaks a lot of coolant. So to fix this car so it doesn't overheat or anything, we got to do that. My gosh, that is a giant AC condenser, or whatever the thing's called.
Just wanted to say that this car was in some type of a wreck or little fender bender or something, because you can see the overspray when they tried to fix it right there on the wiring
The
harness.
wires are kind of
Wires
jacked.
are kind of exposed.
It's-
So there's a little wiring that needs to be done. But
I'll go to the other side. The
not
other
that big
side's
of a deal.
not any better. I don't really know what happened here. They just got bored and they started cutting wires.
Well, if you look at it,
Oh, there's a lot of connectors down here that are not connected.
yeah, and look at this. See how one of these
That
motors, like this, looks like the original motor, and then
Yeah,
that
that
looks
looks
like an
replaced.
replacement.
Which I'm fine with
Which
because,
works. I hooked it up. And
yeah, I don't know if that one might need replaced. They come with plastic gears, and they strip out easily. So you replace them with brass gears, I believe, and those don't strip out. In other words, we got the blinkers working, or they were working to begin with, which is very nice. I hate dealing with lots of wiring. They both work. The brakes work. At least one of the lights works, right?
they both.
They both work?
Yeah,
Okay.
you have to manually adjust them up so that they're always up, which kind of sucks, but no, they work.
So, once we get that fixed, I don't know much more that is needed for inspection. The tires are shot.
Yeah, it needs new tires.
Might have something fun to do with that in the future.
I would imagine that it needs new wiper blades.
All right, so I did a little bit of work. Turns out this thing's not broken at all. This is not a crack. This is just where the seam is. And I found out what's making the whole thing leak coolant. I'll show you real quick. So the problem with the car was the drain plug for the radiator. This is what was in it. And this is what you're supposed to have. It is a two-piece thing, but you can tell on this one that this little rod that goes through it actually broke off of this one. So I don't know what happened here. I think I'll show you guys what happened down there. I think what happened was something hit the tip part of this and broke it off, and so left this leaking. I got it in. That was painful. It shouldn't have been that difficult, but I got it in. And yeah, here's the thing this is why it's broken. This is all broken. It's supposed to be put up like neatly, but it's obviously not. We're really lucky that it did not hit the radiator and it just hit that. Well, at least I hope it didn't. We're about to find out when we test it real quick. Okay, I know some people might hate on me for using the hose water, but I'm gonna replace this with antifreeze and completely flush out the system. I just don't want to waste antifreeze if it's gonna possibly just drip on the floor. So let me start it right up and see what happens. Alright. Hopefully this thing's taking water. This thing's full currently. We'll let it soak up some water. I don't see a big giant stream of water, so that's promising, because it was doing that before. I'll get underneath here, make sure no water dripping from underneath, except for, well, the hose water. So it's running. It still says low coolant, but it is holding temperature. It's been running for a while now, and it's sitting right there. One thing to note is the AC in this thing works, and it's cool. I'm not cold. We're not moving, to be fair. And also, I can't go on the fastest setting, or it turns off. I don't know why that may be, but hopefully I can fix that. It's raining now, but before it started raining, I took it on a little test drive. cleaned up the brakes basically. They were all rusty. And it drives well. It's 300 horsepower, it's not the most powerful, but it was fun. And honestly, I'm impressed. The temperature got a little warm, but it stayed at that temperature. So I'm thinking that might be normal. I'm not really sure what the temperature is for these Corvettes. If that's 210, 180, I don't know, 195 thermostat type thing. I haven't really checked, but it held at the same thing. So overall, happy with this purchase so far. My dad is gonna, in the coming days, clean this car up so it doesn't look like this. But even when it poured rain earlier, get a little closer, the blue really stands out. It may be hard to tell on camera, but it comes to life. So he plans on washing it, clay barring it.
Got the car foam cannoned and clean, has some leaks. The interior of it got a little wet, so obviously needs some weather stripping work. It cleaned up okay, but one of the things I've discovered, I knew I needed to clay bar it, but I had no idea how bad it was. Taking your hand and running it up against the paint is almost like sandpaper, even after a good foam clean. So I'm going to go ahead and work on the clay bar, and then I'm going to go ahead and work on polishing using a real light rubbing compound, and then carnauba wax it.